Okay, so here we are with the otter and fish. We're going to start the head today, and the head calls for color changes. So we're going to need the gray and the light gray. But we're going to start with the gray, and it wants us to do the chain 2. I am going to do a magic circle for this one, but I will do the chain 2 first. So we're going to make a slip knot first. So I'm just going to take my tail, bring it around my thumb, and then take my working yarn through the loop, untie it, and then tighten that down on our hook. And then we're going to yarn over, pull through the loop on our hook to chain 1, yarn over, pull through the loop on the hook to chain 2. Now it wants 6 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So this here is the first chain from our hook, and this is the second chain from our hook here. And so it wants 6 single crochet into this loop here. So you're going to insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook, and then into the same spot, insert again for 2, yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook, 3, just going into the same spot every time, and I'm just kind of rotating around a little as I go. 4, if you're using stitch markers, place one in the first single crochet that you make, otherwise we'll just count back. 5, 6, and then if we want to count back, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you would join here under these 2 loops with a slip stitch, and then chain 1. So that's row 1 as doing it with the chain 2. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to do a magic circle, and then if you did the chain 2, you'll just start when I get back to the end of row 1. And if you do the chain 2, I would recommend using this tail to tighten that up and weave that hole in a little to make it smaller. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to do a magic circle. So I'm just going to take the tail of my yarn and I'm going to bring it over my fingers like this. And then I'm going to wrap it up and down. Okay, so that's what we look like. I'm going to shorten it up a little bit. It's pretty simple thus far. So then we're going to take our hook. We're going to go under this front tail, grab the working yarn, and bring it under. And I twisted there as I brought it under, so to bring it facing around the right way, and then pinch the tail and the loop. And I'm just gonna now switch to pinching with this hand. So I have both sides of this loop and this tail pinched, and I'm just gonna yarn over, pull one through the loop on my hook to chain 1 to secure it down. So now I'm gonna straighten her out. My tail is facing this way now, and I'm gonna just now work my 6 single crochet into this loop. So I'm gonna hold onto my loop and just insert the hook into the loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I'm gonna pinch both sides, yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook for a single crochet. And if you're using stitch markers, put one right there to mark that single crochet. So 1, then insert, pull up a loop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now here is our row of single crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now I'm just going to take my tail and I'm going to pull and it's going to tighten that right up. Although I did get kind of a long tail this time, but that's okay. So now I'm gonna slip stitch to my first single crochet, which is right here. If you have a stitch marker, it'll still be marking it for you. And again, you can count back 1, 2, 3 is right here, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna slip stitch to here. And then since this is a magic circle and not a chain, we'll come back later and we'll tie that end off because right now it could technically reloosen. Get under there. Go on. Right. Wants to be difficult this morning. Okay, close enough. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull it through the loop on your hook. I've caught a piece of something that I'm not supposed to have caught. That. See that? That's not supposed to be on my hook. There we go. Okay. Chain 1. So now we are back to where we were with the chain 1. So now 2, we're just going to 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So we are going to still have our join and our chain that we're not going to work into. And we will start working into the same stitch that we just joined to. So we got this little guy right here that I just worked into. He should be easier to get under the second time. Yeah, there we go. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook for a single crochet. And then back into the same spot, yarn over, pull up a loop. I'm catching all kinds of threads right now. Pull up a loop. Oh, look, now I split the loop on my hook. So I'm just going to nudge that little loop back on there. Yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook, tighten down a little. So that's 2 single crochet, and then 2 single crochet into our next stitch. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now we have our slip stitch to join in our chain 1, which is super small, but it's right there. This piece and this piece. So I'm going to slip stitch to join to our first single crochet, which is right here. Okay. On row 3, we are going to chain 1, and then we got a set of brackets, single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch for an increase. And we're going to repeat that instruction in the set of brackets 6 times. So, single crochet here in our first stitch of the row. If you're using a stitch marker, place it into the stitch you just made. Then the next stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochet into here for an increase. So 1, 2. Then we are going to continue alternating. So now we're back to 1, then 2, 3, all the way around. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I do still find this yarn to be hey, get back on my hook. I split my loop right there, so I'm just going to lift it up above the split. Okay. Slippery. I find it to be slippery. So that was a 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now here we are. Slip stitch to join, chain 1, our first single crochet. We can do a count real fast if we like. We're supposed to have 18, so I'm going to count by 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and then there's the sideways chain and the join. So we're going to join with a slip stitch to this first single crochet and chain 1. Okay. 4. Similar, so I won't do this whole row. We're gonna chain. We already chained 1, right? We already chained 1. Yeah, we did. So we're going to do single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then an increase. So I'll insert under here, into the same stitch we joined to, 1 single crochet. Then in the next stitch, 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, 2 single crochet. So 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're placing your stitch marker, place it right there in our first one. And then we'll just continue that around. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around, and I'll be back. Okay, so here we are at the end of that row. We're starting where it wants to curve up toward us. This on top here is our right side. This is our wrong side. So we just want to encourage that to curl back the other way. And right side just means that that's the side that's going to be facing us when we're done. This will be the inside. So we got our slip to join right here and our chain 1 right there. And so I'm going to slip to join to our first single crochet and then chain 1. Now our next couple rows, 5, 6, and 7, are just to chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch around. So I've already chained 1, and in the video before this we already did single crochet in each stitch around, but I'll just do a couple. So insert into here, and it's just put your stitch marker there if you're putting one. Literally 1 single crochet for every stitch around. So at the end of the row you should have the same amount of stitches as when you started. And I would write out 5, 6, 7 and mark them off as you go if you're because I recommend marking off your pattern as you go. I'm not doing it right now, but that's more because I don't know where my pens are. So, but yeah, just continue around. 1 single crochet in each stitch around, not working into your slip or your chain for 5, 6, and 7. So I'll be back after row 7. Okay, so here we are at the end of row 7, about to join. So we have our slip stitch here and our chain 1 here. So we're going to join under here. We'll do a quick row and stitch count. So this inner circle here, this is our row 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, and so we just joined here. So this one with our yarn run under it, that's our first stitch there. And then on the other side we will have our slip to join. We haven't chained 1 yet, but we will have our slip, so that one won't count when we get around. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and then there's our join. So now I'm going to real quick pop this inside out, bring my loop up, take my hook out, and I'm going to tie this end down and weave it in. So thread onto my needle, and I'm just gonna pop under a nearby stitch if it lets me. Okay. I'm going to hold that so it doesn't pull it through, and then take this back through that loop to tie it down. And then I'm just going to weave this around a little. Let's see, we'll go under here. Okay, and then we're just going to tuck that end in there and move on. So, now, here's where we get fancy. So, round 8, we'll be doing color changes. So here's our other color. Can we find the other end? This is such a small amount of yarn, I don't even know that it matters. We shall not bother. Okay. So we are going to start shaping the face. So we are going to chain 1, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, changing to color bay in the last stitch. Okay. So here we go. Chain 1. Then we're going to, like normal, single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for 5 here, since we're doing a color change, we're going to insert, yarn over, bring up a loop, but then we're going to drop this one, and we're going to take our new one, and we're going to loop that around our hook instead, except we're not going to do that I just did. Okay. And we are going to pull that through instead. And then I will tighten this down a little. Okay. So, we're not going to fasten off. We're going to carry color across the back. So with color bay, we're going to single crochet in the next 4. So here's our color bay, and we're going to put this sort of over and up so that our lines don't get like tangled. We're going to leave this one like laying down there. So this one will be sort of be up and over and the other gray will be laying down. So this next stitch will be our first one in color B. And you can see that this completes this stitch without this color being introduced into it, and it just starts in the next stitch. So this top here is the top of our stitch there, and this will be the top of our next stitch. So we're going to insert, and I'm just gonna like work around both the gray and the white, well, light gray for this. So they are in between my hook and the yarn, and I'm just gonna single crochet, and then I'm gonna leave the white tail. That's just to sort of keep it in place a little better. So that's one single crochet in this color, and then we're gonna keep doing that, but keep working around this gray. So I'm gonna insert and just hold that along there. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on my hook for 2, 3, and then this will be 4, but we're going to change back. So I've inserted, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I'm going to drop that one to the back, pick up this in the front. I'm going to hold that down with this hand, so I'm pinching that back there. No, tighten up. Hold that down. Yarn over, pull this through. Okay. So now we're back to this color. So I'll move this in front a little. And let's see, what do we say next? Change the color A. Color A, single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Okay. So it doesn't say to fasten off with this one. Maybe it just means in general, carry color not in use across the back. So we will, I want 6, right? Yeah, the color A. Okay. So same thing, holding this along the back. So I'm picking my yarn up like above the whole area, and then with these fingers back here, pinching. So to hold that there with at the top of my stitches. Okay, so under the both loops of the stitch and around the white or light gray, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think with 6 we switch back. Next 6 stitch changes into color B, and last stitch, yeah. So here's 6. So insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Then I'm going to drop this loop and move that behind the skein 2, and then yarn over, pull that through both loops on my hook, and then I think it wants 4 again, change it to color B in the last stitch with color single next 4. Okay, then we're going to switch back. So again, I'm going to hold this yarn up above and then pinch this yarn along the work. So insert under both loops of the stitch and my other working yarn. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, and then in 4 we're switching back. So insert under, yarn over, pull up a loop, drop that behind, move this one to the front, hold that light gray down, yarn over, pull through both loops on my hook, like so. Okay. then we're gonna hold this along the way, and let's see, what does it want now? Single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Okay, so we're going to work under the both loops here and the white, light gray. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't do that. 5. So here is our slip stitch to join, and here's our chain. So this is the first single crochet to join to right here. And this is what we look like after that. So you're just, to do the color change, you're just not completing that single crochet, and you're just switching in, you know, before you complete the single crochet. So now, next row. Okay, single crochet in each stitch around as follows. Alrighty, so we are just going to be switching colors as we go, like kind of like we just did, although it looks like our bee is going to grow a little bit this round. So this isn't, I think this probably looks more difficult than it is. If you if it will help, you certainly feel free to write down in here. That's not cool. I wondered why this yarn felt particularly skinny. Anyway, feel free to write down, you know, color A gray, color B light gray, you know, whatever you need to do. So we are going to lay that where we want it to be, and we are going to now, this isn't telling us specifically to chain 1, because this says join and this just says single crochet in each stitch as follows. But it says in the notes that we're going to be chaining 1. So I'm going to operate on the assumption that we're still chaining 1, because we're joining. So just throwing that out there. Okay. Chain 1. So color A5. Okay, so 1, which means in 5 we'll do the color change. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll start 5 and do the color change. Now I will say this won't line up perfectly, like, because this area is gonna get bigger. It'll grow. So your white won't, or light gray won't line up, like, and that's fine. It's supposed to be that way. Okay, so started my single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I'm going to, oh, I didn't carry that. All right, from the top. Take it back now, y'all. All right. Anyway, let's do that again. This time without the oops. All right. So chain 1, insert, carry your white. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 4 single crochet, 5. Now I will drop this, move that back there, pinch. I'm pinching the other end of the gray so it doesn't just like get super loose, you know what I'm saying? And then it's still trying to get really loose, but we'll tighten down afterwards anyway. And now we're gonna hold our gray along the back. So I pick up this color high above the area so it doesn't get messed up, and pinch, pinch. Keeps them separate. 5. So insert under both loops and around the other working yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in 5, we're going to switch back. So insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to lay this one down. Move this one back to the front like that. Yarn over with the other color. Pull through both loops on the hook. And now we will carry the light gray across the back for 4. So under both loops and around light gray, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are going to switch back now. So color A, go into the back, color B, come into the front, like so. Then color B, 5. So this right here is our first gray, not into the white there, into there and around the color A. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is 5 for the switch back. Of course it would be at the snarly part. Okay, so lay the white down or the light down, bring the gray to the front. We're just going to ignore the fact that that's all snarly and do this anyway. And now we're just going to continue along. So for 5, 1, 2, 3, working around our color B as well. 4, 5. Okay. So there's our previous slip to join, previous chain. We're going to join to our first single crochet here. Here we are after that row. Not gonna lie, this guy's looking real cute. So 10 to 11, we're gonna be doing the same thing for each of those rows. So it'll be 5 with A, 14 with B, 5 with A. So carrying our color B along, gonna go to the same stitch we just worked into and around that color B for a single crochet. So 1, okay, 2, 3, 4. Then we're gonna switch in 5. So insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, drop my gray behind, then take my light gray, and then 14. So insert under both and around the color A yarn. 1, 2, 3. Kind of letting my yarn get a little like laying up here, and I really want it to be kind of laying right there toward the back. I'm getting a little lazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And in this 14 one is our last one. We will switch. So I'll bring color A to the front, drop color B to the back, and pull that color A through color B. And now 5. So into here and around color B. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 5. Okay. So we are going to join to our first single crochet. Okay. Here's how we look. Looks pretty cute. And then the same thing again. So same exact thing we just did, and I'll be back after that one's done. Okay, so here we are at the end of that row, 11. I've chained 1. Here's what we got. Now, 12. Continuing to change color as established. I imagine that's supposed to say established. With color A, chain 1, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, decrease in brackets 6 times. So, here's what I am doing. Continuing to change colors as established. So, we do 5 with color A. So, single crochet in the next 2 stitches and a decrease will take up 4 stitches. So, single crochet 1. Oh wait, I'm not carrying my color. Okay, carry your color. Single crochet 1. Single crochet 2. Okay. Now, decrease. So we're still carrying our color. So insert under the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert under the second stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook, tighten that down. That covers 4 stitches. So we're doing 5. And so I'm going to do 1 more, and this will be the first of our next single crochet 2. So I'm also going to do the color change on this one. So insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, lay this to the back, then yarn over, pull through the loops on my hook. So that's 1 of 2 single crochet. So now carrying our other color, we're going to work here. So this is 2 of our single crochet 2 and then decrease. So now we will decrease. So decrease and then under the next stitch. So here's our decrease. Okay. So now this has been covered 3 of our color A stitches. So now we're going to continue across and we're going to insert under here and single crochet 1, 2, and then decrease. So insert under the first yarn over, pull up a loop, insert under the second yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook, then 1, 2, decrease, okay, then 1, 2, and then decrease. And so we've had 1, and then this was a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So technically our color change, this is our 14th stitch. So I'm gonna insert under this stitch here, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then I'm going to drop this, bring this to the front, carry that along behind, insert under the next, and go around that color B, yarn over, pull up a loop. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops like that. And then 1, just take that bit of fuzz off, I guess. 1, 2, decrease. So insert under the first, insert under the second. Okay. I'm thinking, by the way, that this is here. I may have forgotten to chain. Actually, I think that I did. But either way, I just pulled that too far forward when I was carrying it. I could fix it, but also I don't really even mind it, so I am not going to. So, slip stitch to join, chain 1. This yarn does have some thickness consistency issues. Okay, so we got this little guy with a little face. And the reason I counted, by the way, here was, okay, so this was 1, 2, and then a decrease, which counts for 2 stitches. So each decrease I was counting as 2. So 3, 4, because that's how many stitches were there in the previous round. And then 5, because it was 5 in color A. And then for color B, here's my decrease here, this little diagonal thing. But this was one of our 1, 2. So single crochet 1, single crochet 1, and then decrease. But that's why I counted as like this was 2, and then 1, 2, or 3, 4. So 1, I got this. 1 as far as counting how many light gray stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 14, except we did the color change in here. So 14, and then the other half of that was the gray. I'm assuming that's what they want, and that is what I have done. So now we are no longer changing colors. I don't believe, because it doesn't say to continue to change colors as established. It does say at the end of the next row to fasten off color B, but first 13, so with color A, I don't know if that means it wants us to carry that still for this row, that we don't fasten it off yet. I don't particularly see why we would, except maybe just for size continuity. But we are going to be chaining 1, which we already did, and then single crochet in the next stitch, decrease, alternating around. So I guess I'll carry this just because it doesn't say to fasten it off till the end of this row. I don't think it matters. So we're going to, in the first stitch where we joined, we are going to single crochet 1, and then we are going to decrease. And then we are going to single crochet 1, and then we are going to decrease. And then, you guessed it, we're going to single crochet 1, and we're going to decrease, and we're just going to continue alternating all the way around. I did think maybe they wanted you to carry, just sort of to add some color, slight color texture to the fur, but I don't know that for sure. Decrease. Single crochet 1, decrease. Are we back around? Yeah, we are. Let's do a stitch count. We're supposed to have 12 now. So here is our slip to join in our chain. So this is our first stitch. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Fasten off color B. So color B, I'm just gonna, for now, trim this. Oh, there's my scissors. Okay, I found them. Everything's fine. So I'm going to, because normally what you do is you like slip stitch or whatever to fasten off. If I do that, obviously it'll show. So I'm just going to trim this, and I'm just going to leave it there for a minute, and then I'll deal with it when I get back. So let's see. So we will join to our, this one looks even further away from usual because this decrease pulls your stitch this way. So this is not a stitch that we work into. This is the rest of this stitch here. Then join and then chain. So over here is where we're going to join with a slip stitch like so. And then we are going to chain 1, and we are going to just decrease all the way around. So decrease 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. What are you stuck on? This one's stuck on something. I can feel it because it's tighter than it should be. We'll just take that out and do it again. What was this? 5, 5. Okay. 6. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch to my first single crochet, which is getting real hard to see, but this is my slip stitch. This is my chain. This is my single crochet. So we're going to slip stitch here. Nope, we're not going to do that. Slip stitch here, tighten that down. Wants us to leave a tail for sewing. So we left a tail on the body. I don't know why we're leaving a tail on the body and the head, but we'll leave a little tail since this is a little opening. I don't think we'll need much of one. And then, so I'm going to pull this through. And then I'll find my other end, my white end. Light gray, whatever they want to call it. And I'm just going to bring this inside here real fast. And I'm going to tie these two together to fasten that white off. Then I'm going to tie it again. And then I'm going to just shove that back in there. Goodbye. Good, good, good. And then I'll just bring this back out. I don't know why it had you carry, or well, I don't even know if it did have you carry it because it didn't specify, but I don't know why it didn't just cut the yarn earlier, but it doesn't matter. So here is this. Da, da, da. Little otter head, little otter body, and there we go. And next time will be legs. I have to try to do shorter videos because the internet here is extraordinarily slow, and it took the entire day last time to get the video uploaded. Like the whole day. So, you know, smaller sections. But, you know, hope this helps. And I'll try to get the next one up quickly.